No, you see, let me tell you, I said even in the parliament, like, there's what you call the golden rule. The golden rule, what does it golden rule says? Do to what you feel like that person could do to you. Senor. So, if there is something that it is for the public interest, and indeed is for the public interest, just for the sake of one person, no, that one should not be the same. They should not. There is no secret there. I know there could be my SMEO leaders could have a different thinking. How? Okay, we know the way maybe the president that has been set before, in terms of saying like how mambo during during maandamano. Maandamano is for the public. That one is a democratic right. But economic sabotage in terms of one individual just using the court, that one should be called on order. And that's why I was so much, and I say that the president has to, and that is even the biblical. Like right now, yes, I know people are complaining about, anyone who's complaining about fuel should not be harassed by the president. But anyone who is using the court just to frustrate millions of people, that is the person that the Bible talks about, that na ule yote ambaye hata sikiza maneno ya Mungu wake ama ule mfalme wake ahamrishwe, apelekwe jela ama fanye nini, apigwe mawe. And that is a fact. So it reaches a point whereby, and that is how these countries that are developed countries like China, they have fought so hard about the corruption. Yes, corruption is the biggest problem that is in this country. So if the president can be firm to fight, you see, let me tell you one thing. The buck stops with the president. No matter how we do the mandamano, no matter how we do whatever it is, the president will always remain, because with the kind of the constitution we have in Kenya, which we agreed, and he was entrusted by those powers, right? So if the president, he has to, okay, kuna zile zingine zenye pia he has to be also like pia akubali kuambia ukweli. Lakini kuna zile zingine anasema kama president mwenyewe, no way, this one I have to be firm.
Na kuna mambo ambayo tumekuwa tukiona yakifanyika, manake western, I think partly western region inakunga imebeba mambo ya chakula sana. And kumekuwa na issue ya food insecurities, and wakasema that since the president alileta mambo ya chakula au mambo ya fertilizers, saizi tumekuwa na chakula. I mean, from your side, is mambo ya chakula imekuwa sorted so far, ama what do you think?
You see, it is a bit tricky because you see now, right now, tuko mwezi wa ngapi? Mwezi wa 9. So we are waiting upon to see how the production from Rift Valley, from Trans Nzoia is going to be. That is when we will be able to gauge and know whether is it a theory that a scheme, or just a true picture that yes, after the fertilizer thing, at least, which by the way, I do agree with it, because in the previous regime, there was 6,000 per bag. So if this fertilizer can be cheap, and maybe it was able to reach the people, and we can have enough food, that is where now the focus of the president should be. We will now be able to kill this thing called subsidies of unga. Now let us put the subsidies in fertilizer, make it fertilizer be the cheapest in Kenya, whereby even if it means that there is a factory, that if someone wants to put up a factory for fertilizer, can be in Kenya, because it is cheapest to put a plant in Kenya. And that is, in fact, that is whereby the president should do, because just importing materials kutoa hapa Tanzania, phosphate kutoa wapi wanaleta wanajengea hapa, then inatolewa ikienda pia outside. That is what the people in developed countries do. Yani, you know, and in fact, even you see like these laptops like Toshiba, they are being manufactured in Singapore, just because they discovered that there is labor cheap labor intensive, because it needed technology and labor was there that was available. So they say that now instead, yes, discovery is done in America, but they are being manufactured or assembled in where?
In Singapore.
In Singapore. So if we can also make that it is cheapest in Kenya, then that is where now the production of, and that's how developed. Why do we make it like we produce here Nescafe, it's being produced in America or in UK, but the coffee ya Kenya ndio inaenda kutengeneza huko? So the same principle, and that is where now the country, this Kenya needs to be.
Na labda nataka nikupeleke sasa kwa national government kidogo. I think umeona tumekuwa tukiongea sana kuhusu mambo ya mwaka mmoja wa president uongozini na Kenya Kwanza government. What is your take about hii mwaka mmoja from your side?
Okay, number one, we have had many challenges. That one I do agree with it. Even as, because it took time for money to come. You know, there's areas that will say, if he tried to see that all the counties receive money, because they were having backlogs up to July. So no county should be blaming about the pending bills and all that. Then that is a plus to him. For the CDF, at least up to now, we are done. Around 98, whatever, for the CDF has been given. That one you can say it's a plus. Maybe now we are now in this new financial year, whereby AJ. So if the pending bills for the those who have worked in the counties have been paid, it's a plus. Then we have been seeing things to do with we've seen President being so much passionate about projects that are stalled projects. So if we can also finish up the projects that have been stalled, because you find like that is where the problem is. He can run speed, because we have been seeing the president for the last 1 month. He has been all along running across this country, visiting areas. And one of the areas that has been being reminded is about hii barabara ilianzishwa